Welcome to MotorcycleDen, and today we have a question for you. Stay tuned, folks. The question is, why do so many people bash Harley-Davidson? This is our second Harley-Davidson that we've owned. Our first one was a 2018 Ultra Limited that we bought in, what was it, April?
18.
April of 18. We did trade that one in late last year on this 2020 Road Glide Limited. And we have videos talking about why and what, you know, what differences there are and what we like and don't like about each. So I'll put links in the description below of all those videos if you guys are interested. I guess it's mostly on the internet. I see a ton of people bashing Harley-Davidson. You know, and somebody told me a long time ago, and I have to admit, I was always one that swore I would never own a Harley-Davidson. And here we are. Never say never, they say. But I guess it was in a conversation that we were having, and someone had mentioned to me, if Harley isn't any good, why do so many people own them? We are from Ohio, and I'm not sure how it is in other parts of the country, but there are a lot of Harley-Davidson owners around here. When we go out on a Saturday, and on a good sunny day where there's a lot of people out, what do you say, hon? Maybe see 50 to 80 motorcycles or something?
Yeah.
I would have to say the majority of those motorcycles are Harley-Davidson. Probably 75% are Harleys. I mean, honestly, I really feel a little bit higher, but I don't want to.
I was thinking 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking more like 80%, but you know, it's up there. So if Harley-Davidsons are so bad, why do so many people own them? And I get, you know, there's a lot of reasons, you know. Just the name itself. A lot of people want to own a Harley-Davidson. Doesn't really matter anything about the bike, they just want to own a Harley-Davidson. Like I said, I was one that swore I'd never own one. And a lot of it was because, you know, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and, you know, AMF was on the scene somewhere in there, and, you know, they did have a lot of quality issues. And that's probably why I felt the way I did about Harley-Davidson. I kind of had a negative viewpoint on them, because you did hear a lot of negative things about them. But, folks, I mean, I gotta say, this is the most fun. I mean, these past two bikes, they're the most fun bikes that I've ridden. And I've not owned a lot, but I've ridden a lot of motorcycles. And I really enjoy riding them. They are a lot of fun. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess what happens is people probably have an issue, and there are issues with Harley. And we had an issue with this right after we bought it. And, you know, was I happy about it? No. I wasn't happy about it. Nobody wants to spend, you know, $30,000 on a motorcycle and have issues with it. But, and I know people's going to say, you know, all brands have problems, and that's true. But do I think Harley probably has more than like Japanese brands? Yeah. I think they probably do. I don't know statistically, but I would imagine they probably do have a little bit more problems. But you know what? I know that that's the case, and we've still bought 2 of them. So that's got to say something. I mean, we had an issue with our first one, and we've had an issue with this one. Now, we'll say the Japanese bikes I've owned, there was a recall on the last one we had, Yamaha FJR, but other than that, we never had any problems out of any of the bikes we've owned previous to this. But I would still, you know, I just enjoy riding it. And it fits our needs, you know. We didn't go out to buy a Harley because honestly, it was one of the last bikes that I really wanted to buy because so many people have them around here, and I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm just following the crowd. I just had a thing about it. I didn't want the same bike everyone else has, but this fit the bill for us, so it's what we wound up buying. What do you think, babe?
I think everybody has their opinion. This doesn't mean that opinion's right for everybody. I think you need to pick the bike that you like. And, you know what I mean? I think it's really ignorant to bash a whole brand. You know what I mean? If one bike is crap, then say that one bike is crap. But you can't. I think it's goofy to put in a whole brand. You can't tell me every single bike they have is terrible. Typically, every bike in one brand doesn't have the same exact motor.
Right.
But
yeah, so you know.
I think people, you know what I mean? I think they hear stuff and they run with it and they don't even know.
I do. I think there's a lot of people comment that they know partial truths. I mean, we've had so many people comment on videos, and a lot
that are
of
hateful.
A lot of them I just delete because, you know, they're
kind of like, goodness, your opinion is fine to have, but that doesn't mean everybody's going to agree with you, and that's okay. Not everybody's supposed to agree with you because they're not you.
Right. You know, we've been called all kinds of stuff because we have a Harley-Davidson. You know, and they've had Harley-Davidsons and they're garbage, and what they're not telling you, they had probably a used bike that somebody didn't take care of, or they bought it when AMF owned them, or, you know, but you never know the whole story. You're only hearing part of it when these people say, oh, I had this and that.
We're not telling you it's 1972.
Right.
Like, dude, I was barely born.
You know.
You had that bike.
Yeah.
A lot's changed. And
well,
it's not just Harley. I'm sure all brands are way better now than what they was in 1972.
Well, a lot of people say, well, Harley's behind in their technology. Why don't they get it, you know, more modern technology on their bikes and this and that? You know, I could go on and on. I think people bash Harley because they are so popular.
Or maybe they're jealous
There you
and they
go.
want one and can't afford it.
Well, that might be that.
Because I've heard a lot that,
Yeah.
you know, that bike's too expensive.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's true.
Go buy one then.
Exactly. People are going to say, well, I can afford it. I just wouldn't pay that much. You know, and they want to say Harleys are overpriced. You know what? They're right there with Gullwing. Gullwing's the same price as Harley-Davidson. When you start looking at their, yeah, they got like 3 different models. Yeah, you look at the base price Gullwing, it's cheaper than this. But, you know, yeah, and do you get more? I don't know, Indian offers you a little bit more, but there's sacrifices there too. You know, you don't have the amount of dealerships that you have with Harley-Davidson. My brother has an Indian Roadmaster. I love the bike. It's a beautiful bike. He gets compliments constantly on that thing. When we are out 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time, well, heck, I'll even go to say it's probably almost 100. He gets compliments on that Indian. Somebody always says it. We'll have both our bikes sitting there, and somebody's all the time saying something about his Indian. Actually, so much so that it starts to bother me. I'm getting a complex about it, but but people are drawn to that. They love it. Their bike's priced around Harley, and they do offer a little bit more than Harley gives you, but you know, you don't have near the accessories available, and they're starting to come out with quite a bit for Indian. Guys, let us know. I'm really curious what your guys' opinions are, what you have experienced. And I knew this video would probably bring out all kinds of comments.
Be nice.
Here it is. Yeah, be nice about it. And I'm not saying Harley's the only brand. I mean, I like all motorcycles, all brands. And if you ride, hey, it's great. You're okay with me, you know?
Ride with us same time.
Exactly. It don't matter what you're riding. We would love to hear from you. And if you haven't, subscribe to our channel, please. It helps us out, and we love it. Just watching our channel grow. Till next time, guys. See ya.